What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're back at it again with another episode of What If This Were to Happen. I know a lot of you longtime fans of this series were wondering why haven't I posted a what if in like a week or two. I've just been trying to figure out the best possible path forward for what I wanted to see for that series, and no better way to do it than to see if another Group of 5 team could bounce a Power 4 conference team. I know we've talked about this slightly in the past, another what if series about potentially two teams from Group of 5 in the playoffs. But we mostly talked about Army and like how Army can see that path forward. But with the new rankings, as you can see to my right over there, we can see that Tulane has etched his way into 17th. I never thought Tulane would be around that time. I figured that Tulane would just sit around like 2021 the entire time. They have 2 losses to pish posh teams. Not pish posh. Like Kansas State is now ranked, and then Oklahoma is probably like their worst loss in their record. But they've been doing really, really well, killing it. 30 plus points on them. But Tulane is sitting there right between the two Big 12 leaders. So I figured that this is possible. In my prediction, I had ASU jumping a lot of these SEC teams just because they are the leaders of the Big 12. But it looks like the committee has shown that the Big 12 right now this year is not up to snuff against 2-loss, 3-loss SEC teams. So this is the best outcome for Tulane, to be sitting there right between ASU, Iowa State, and BYU, and then Kansas State, Colorado are at the very tail end of the conference. And there's still a lot of football to be played this week to determine on who's going to the Big 12 title game and where they are going to be in the rankings. You're probably wondering, what is the path forward for Tulane? And we're going to be going over that. Tulane needs a lot of things to happen, a lot of prayers from up above to really get them over that hump, because they don't play any more ranked opponents. They're relying on way too many variables that are out of their control. But that's what we're here for, to really talk about and dive into some of those potential scenarios that could allow Tulane to potentially get to 16th to 15th overall, which is probably going to be better than any Big 12 team as of late, especially after this scenario. So what needs to happen first for Tulane is they need to win out. They need to beat Memphis. Should be easy enough. Memphis is on the cusp of making the AP poll. They're always getting a little bit of votes here or there. Then they need to beat Army in the American Athletic Conference. It sucks that Army isn't ranked. I was hoping that Army would be like 25th, just like fall down to like 25. They still have 1 loss. But it looks like the committee saw what they did to Notre Dame, and it wasn't looking good. It didn't look good. I watched part of that game, had to turn it off because it was an awful game, and now they're unranked. So they just need to win out, handle business. They need to do to Army what they did to Navy, dominate, destroy, whatever word you want to use, to emphasize the amount of strength Tulane has in this tail end of the season. Then they need BYU and Iowa State to lose. So I originally had Arizona State University as the Iowa State here in this scenario, but the problem that I came across was that ASU plays U of A, which isn't a ranked team, which really wouldn't bolster their resume. They probably would move up 1 spot depending on the South Carolina Clemson game. Very, very lucrative. But Iowa State, they play ranked Kansas State. And we can't afford, if you're a Tulane fan, if you're a Tulane enjoyer, you can't afford Iowa State to jump even higher in the rankings. So we need Iowa State to lose to ranked Kansas State. We need BYU to lose their last game. And then the Big 12 championship game would look something like this. Kansas State wouldn't be in. They have 3 losses in the Big 12. But Colorado would have 3 losses overall. You need Colorado to win. ASU would be there. You would have like a fringe 24... 23 Colorado team, potentially still 25, depending on how all the games shake up. Maybe even 20 Colorado team, at the highest 20. And then you have ASU, which would probably be around 15, 16, right around where they are right now. They only played U of A. And then Colorado needs to win. They need to win this game. They need to win. So there'll be a 3-loss Colorado versus a 2-loss Tulane. And Tulane is dominating teams. And we'll just say this game is close for just sake of argument. And with the current rankings, you could see that Colorado, if Kansas State were to win against Iowa State, Kansas State would move up a little bit in the rankings, probably just past UNLV. Colorado would probably stay the same. I think they play Oklahoma State, can't remember. Iowa State would then go down. BYU then would go down the rankings. Some of these will shuffle around. Iowa State would stay the same. Tulane maybe potentially goes up to like 16 if ASU moves up a little bit. And then if a 15 ASU versus a 21-20 Colorado, and Colorado wins, do you really think the committee is going to bounce Colorado 5 spots because they beat a fringe Big 12 team? I think as of right now, the committee is saying right now, like outside of like Iowa State. Iowa State and Arizona State have the best chance of making it to the 12 team. And if they don't, then essentially Tulane probably jumping over them. That's just my opinion, my theory on that. But I could definitely see it happening. And these are the only, there's probably a couple other outcomes you could have, like issue lose. If all three of them lose, then it'll just bring more chaos into the ranking pool, because then it would be like all these 3-loss teams. But it's just very, very unlikely that all these teams lose. But it would definitely be crazy, and it would be interesting to see a Big 12 out of the 12 team, a Power 4 conference in the first year of the 12 team don't make it. That would be absolutely insane. It would be crazy. But if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Peace.